and welcome to our conversation with City Council President Ken Sanchez. I'm Trudy Jones, and I'm serving this year as the Vice President. Ken and I have had these roles before, and we kind of enjoy them. So we'll ask a few questions and find out what's been going on through the year and what we think is going to happen for the next year. Ken, you want to tell us, you're a counselor for District 1.
That is correct.
And you want to tell us a little bit about the district and how long you've served them and what's gone on in your life?
Well, prior to my life as an Albuquerque City Councilor, I served 8 years as a Bernalillo County Commissioner, but I represent now the west side of Albuquerque. They did some redistricting a couple of years ago, and basically the district starts at Central, it goes up to Montano and Coors and crosses over to Paseo del Norte and I-40 on the east side. But I've been representing the council district now for 9 years, and I will have to say this year, serving on the Albuquerque City Council probably was the most difficult in my life in the 17 years that I have served in public office.
Ken, what a great lead-in. Tell us a little bit about what we've dealt with this year and what do you think is going to happen in the future?
I think that this year probably by far was the most challenging year for the entire City Council, but at the same time I think it was the most rewarding year. We had the Department of Justice here doing their work on the Albuquerque Police Department. They've come up with a settlement agreement that I feel is fair and equitable to the citizens of Albuquerque, or Albuquerque Police Department, and this entire city. We had meetings where basically we had individuals taking over the council meeting. We had to come in and change the council rules. I had to throw people out of council meetings, which I hated to do. I say the chambers belong to the people, but at the same time you need to respect the decorum, you need to respect the process, and individuals did not want to even come down to the council meetings because they were fearful. People should never fear coming down to an Albuquerque City Council meeting and voicing their concerns and voicing their opinions. But I think with the rule changes, things that we did together as a council, that it's worked out really well. You know, people can no longer stand next to somebody holding up a sign. You know, you can't applaud, you can't be standing in the background, you know, holding up signs or cheering or applauding the speaker. You know, we want to make sure that people have their voices heard and that we are there to listen. And I think that we as a council did a great job in listening to the public, especially with the issues involving the Albuquerque Police Department and the Department of Justice. But now that the consent decree or the settlement agreement has been filed with the courts, I think it's going to make for a much better Albuquerque Police Department, a police department that people can trust, feel comfortable with, and hopefully we will not have the same issues take place here as we did in Ferguson.
Thank you, Ken, and that was a great response to that. And I agree with you on all of what you said. I think it was very important that we made it clear as a council that we respected people's rights to come and speak in front of the council and to the public, but that they all had to respect each other, and it wasn't us against them or them against them or any kind of a debate, but they did have the right to come and speak before the council and the public, and I think you handled it very well. I know there were some difficult meetings where our eyes got kind of big and we wondered what was going to happen, and unfortunately a couple of those of the meetings were very uncomfortable, but I think in the long run I agree with you obviously that this will be a better city for some of the things that are happening now.
And we want to make sure that we respect individuals' First Amendment rights.
Yes.
And we give them those rights to speak. And during a general public comment, if people choose to just stand there and not speak, that's a form of speech and we must allow it. But when we are on a specific agenda item and they're speaking, they need to speak on the issue that is germane to that issue. And in that particular case, there was times I had to ask the individual to please stay on subject matter, and there was times when I asked people to leave the chambers and asked security to escort people out of the chambers. I know the one meeting that we lost control of the meeting, one of the officers next to me said, "Do you want us to start making some arrests?" I said, "Absolutely not. You know, this is what they want. They want to show that you're using excessive force. I'm going to adjourn the meeting tonight. We will reconvene a special meeting a few days later," and that worked out perfectly well. You know, and I think people respected the process.
Thank you, Ken, and I think you handled it so well. One of the things that we needed to remember as counselors and as the public, that we are there to do the business of the city, and we as counselors have business that we have to do there, and I think we understand and we agree We work well together. We agree that it is important for the people to speak, but it's just as important for us to do the business that we are elected to do, and that's to address the business when we go to council meetings.
And I also want to thank the members of the public that came down to city council meetings. I know there were times that the meetings got out of control, but the majority of the people that were attending the council meetings respected the decorum, respected the chambers, and worked well with the council. And I even think now some of those protesters, I mean, they were angry, they were upset, and they felt their voices had not been heard for a long, long time. And at that point, I think things just disrupted. But again, I just feel that, overall, I want to thank the members of the public for attending city council meetings. We encourage people to come down and speak and voice their concerns, voice their opinions, because we value their information.
Thank you. And I think it's getting much better now, and I really appreciate the fact that the people come down and they are now following the rules and showing respect for each other, which is one of the important things we want to look at. So what do you see coming up for the next few years for the city council and for you and your district?
Well, one of the things that I'm very excited about is we are now under construction, and we are building a brand new regional library on Albuquerque's west side. When I was on the county commission, the city council and the city of Albuquerque shut down Esperanza Library. That's the library that I used to go to as a young child and for years, and it was a landmark in our community. And when they shut that down, I said, if I ever get elected to the city council seat, I will do one thing. I will assure the people of this community that they will have a library that they can be proud of. This is a 25,000 square foot facility. It's a regional library. We have now a pocket library at Alamosa and Westgate. But how you empower a community is through literacy and through education. And that library will probably be opened up latter part of January, early part of February. But that's going to be a tremendous asset and anchor to our community.
I agree with you 100%, of course. Libraries are our backbone of the community. So it's my understanding that this is going to be the largest library in the city, a city library, is that correct?
That is correct. It'll be a regional library which will basically take care of the people in Westgate, the South Valley, the West Side. And again, it's a public library, so people from throughout the city, and we welcome people to come to this new facility. And people have told me, why are you opening up a library in times when people are now getting books online electronically? There will be a computer lab where people can get their check out their books electronically, but we want to make sure that people still have that opportunity to go and research information, that they will have the state-of-the-art facility that's long overdue and well-deserved for the residents of that community.
Thank you, Ken. There's nothing like picking up a book and smelling it and touching it, and every child should have the opportunity to do that. Will you have community rooms also?
And there will be community rooms for community meetings. One of the things that I am looking at trying to do, and I'm going to be meeting with the library board, a young individual by the name of Lawrence Vargas was gunned down and killed downtown, and he was growing up, used to give books to kids. His mom was a teacher. Terry Vargas was a school teacher, and I'd like to name the children's room after Lawrence for his commitment to other kids. And they also provide shoes to kids from all over the city, all over the state. They've gone to Arizona, they've gone to Colorado, and Lawrence is an artist, and he basically sells his artwork and buys shoes, basically at a discount from Payless Shoes, and gives them to kids throughout the city, and also books. So I will be meeting with the library board, Miss Vargas, and also Lawrence Vargas to see if we can dedicate the children's room after Lawrence Vargas Jr.
What better person to look up to than one who helps others and appreciates literature and reading?
Yeah, and we're very excited about that, and that'll be the decision by the library board, and then it'll come to the full council.
Great, thank you. Anything on the books? Anything you're planning on that's going to be new in the district?
Well, we've already got a brand new fire station.
Yes,
that
you
was
do.
opened up 2 years ago.
And it's a great fire station too.
The previous fire station was on 47th and Central. That fire station was 60 years old. I told my sister that fire station is just way too old. She goes, "Are you talking about me because I just turned 60?" I said, "No, that's a building structure. You're fine." But it's a beautiful facility. We just completed an art piece also. It's a fire hydrant with water going up.
Oh, awesome.
And
That
we'll
would be
have
the public art?
That'll be the public art, the 1%
Excellent.
for the art.
Excellent.
And we're just very excited about that project also. We feel, the residents on the west side deserve, public art, just like everyone across the city does.
Great.
But we're really excited about the fire station. This was probably about 8 months ago. I was in a meeting with the Finance Committee. chief. The chief was there at the time. I got a call that my mom was ill. Took the chief out to the hallway. I said, "Chief, we've got an emergency. Can you dispatch 911?" They were there within 2 minutes. My mom is 2 minutes away from the fire station. The paramedics were there to care for her almost immediately.
I must say it's so rewarding to see the good things happening on the west side. It's taking a while to take hold, but I'm pleased that the city is, with your guidance and your help, is getting the west side where it needs to be with the services that the people need. So thank you. Tell me, is there anything that you see major coming up in the city of Albuquerque in the next year?
Well, I think the biggest challenge that we face as members of the council, also Mayor Barry, is economic development and jobs, in creating new jobs here in Albuquerque. I know that we were praying and we were hopeful that we were going to land Tesla, but it was very difficult to compete against Nevada because they wanted to stay close to home, which they did. Plus, we could not compete with the incentives. I think we were used as a pawn to help incentivize the incentives, and Nevada probably gave Tesla the best deal. I think they would have been much better off here in Albuquerque. But we've got to quit looking at the giant companies coming to Albuquerque because they're hard to land. We've got to make sure that we maintain the small businesses here in our community, and also looking at smaller businesses that may want to locate. Adding those small businesses up, we can create 6,000, 7,000 jobs. But we've got to make sure that we secure the jobs that we have and protect the businesses that have been here for many, many years.
I agree, and it's really interesting to see, excuse me, what's going on in the downtown area with the Innovate and C&M and University of New Mexico and the entire group of people who are working together. That is what helps make a city great, when all of the different factions get together and start working. Is there any one thing that you think would be most useful to bring downtown? I know you serve the west side, but we're all city councilors.
One of the things that I have pushed for so long has been an event center. If we are going to bring a key anchor downtown, I think that it would really redevelop the downtown area. We've got the Chemo Theater. I think it's a great addition to our community, but it's not the key anchor that's going to draw people to our downtown area. Plus, we've got to make sure that our downtown is safe. People that come downtown want to feel safe. But I think that there's still a possibility of bringing, hockey downtown, arena football, concerts. I think we've got a great venue, and if we're going to keep our millenniums here in Albuquerque, because I've been to other cities where they've got great and thriving downtowns, and I think we've really got to work hard on that. I support ABQ Innovate, and I think it's going to be a great asset to our community. We talk about entrepreneurship, but again, businesses that have been here for a long time were never called entrepreneurs, but they still make payroll, they still employ people, and those are the businesses we need to protect. But at the same time, I still feel that the key to a successful downtown would be an event center. We had looked at it for some time. We did some studies. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on the study, and the study indicated that it would be a viable asset to our community. And we've got a brand new convention center. We just spent close to $25 million on the renovation of the convention center. We need more hotel rooms, so we can look at a possible new hotel. Again, with the event center, I think would really revitalize and restructure our downtown community.
I think that's very interesting. There are so many things we can do downtown. It's interesting as we drive through to see all of the new residential areas that are going in, the infill residential, and some of the restaurants and the fun places. And I agree, if we can get some people down there and increase retail and get more businesses there, I think we'll do much better downtown. And it is the heart of the city. Even though all of the areas of the city have their own little pockets and their own personalities, it's very important to have a downtown. So what do you see your future in politics?
Well, I have truly enjoyed serving on the Albuquerque City Council and also enjoyed serving on the Bernalillo County Commission. I've been in office now for close to 17 years.
Good for you.
I still enjoy it as much today as I did 17 years ago. And the challenges are still there. I think one of the biggest challenges that we face, I was glad to see that we didn't put the issue on the ballot regarding the 1/8 cent gross receipts tax dealing with the mentally ill and also the homelessness problem. The county put it on as an advisory question, and close to 70% of those voters, countywide, city and county voters, supported the initiative. And it's part of the settlement agreement also by the Department of Justice that we need to deal with the issues of mental illness and homelessness. And that's one of the things that I would like to see done in the very near future is that we confront those issues after the James Boyd shooting. I think that and also the two young men that killed the two homeless men, Native Americans on Albuquerque's west side. They ruined their lives as young men that were growing up and have no future now. And two individuals lost their lives and their families will be shattered forever. But those are the issues that we need to really focus on, the mentally ill and the homeless here in our community.
Thank you. And Ken, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me. It's always interesting. It's always enjoyable. You have some great perspective on this from your years of service to the city and the county, and we'll look forward to seeing you for many more years.
And we're both still smiling.
And we're both still smiling.